Welcome everyone to One-on-One with LeTigress. I'm here to introduce to you some of the players competing at the HRX Founders Tournament. For this episode, we have the wonderful Unscathed. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. What about yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. Excited to be seeing faces for the first time for all these names I've seen through the brackets, so I like that part. The first question, pretty simple. How did you get started in Hand of the Gods?
It's actually kind of a funny story. I play Smite a lot with my brother and, a lot of our friends. We kind of have been playing Smite for a few years and stuff, and Smite was down for maintenance or something like that. And we had like nothing to do because I'm in Arizona, right? It's 100 and some degrees over the summers. I don't do anything. And I saw in the browser of the game is down, it's like, try out Hand of the Gods. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it. And so kind of started there. Somehow I ended up in the Discord. And then from there, it went to tournaments and stuff. I met a lot of great people. And, that's kind of how it all began.
Cool. Discord's what sucks us all in. Once you're there, you can't turn back. So what would you say are some of the aspects of Hand of the Gods that kind of sucked you into it?
The one thing that I really like about Hand of the Gods is that it's not one-dimensional. I think there's a lot of different things you can do just because of, positioning and stuff like that, that there's not just do this one play, this is the only correct play, and this is what you have to do. It's kind of, you can justify multiple lines of play. And I like that it's not one-dimensional and that there's lots of different things to think about, and it's very kind of intricate.
So how often do you compete in tournaments?
Basically, whenever I am able to. A lot of tournaments, when they occur on the weekends and stuff, like the ESL's on Sundays, and, a lot of the high-risk stuff is on Saturdays, I can make those. So I basically, if I can and I'm able, I plan them. Obviously, school comes first, right? And, that makes it hard to attend stuff like the Smite Prime ones. But, when I can, I do.
What are you studying at school?
My major is accounting.
Lots of calculating. Do you bring some of that calculation skill into the game with you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very calculated in what I do, and I like to think through a lot of things.
Cool. So with the different play styles, aggro, control, mid-range, all that, what's your favorite?
Well, favorite from an enjoyable standpoint, I really like combo decks. I've always been kind of a combo player where I like to assemble different things. I like to think, oh, these are my outs. This is what I have to watch out for. And I'm very meticulous and calculated in that. Like, I did a lot of, what was it? Odin OTK, and then there was Jar back in the day, which was really, really strong. But I like those combo lists. I think more competitive-wise, you're kind of forced into kind of more mid-range decks just because they are more consistent overall. And if you're playing in tournaments and you want to do well, you got to play the consistent stuff.
That's fair. So when you were going into the qualifiers, what were your expectations?
Well, I was expecting a lot of competitive play. I knew that these online qualifiers were going to be super, super stacked, and a lot of the best players were going to come back, or the ones that were already there were going to play. So I knew it was going to be really competitive. And I think the meta, what was interesting about it is it kind of shifted from week to week. I think week 1 had a meta, and then week 2 had a meta, and then week 3 had a meta, because everybody's kind of adjusting based on what happened, right? And you kind of have to stay one step ahead of knowing what they're going to adjust for, and you adjust for that.
That was probably one of the most interesting things. Everyone banned Ganesh. Now nobody banned Ganesh. Like, oh, something happened throughout the week there. Well, lucky for you, well, I wouldn't call it luck because you worked for it, but in this case, you are one of the people that qualified. So what are your expectations for yourself going into HRX Founders Tournament?
I'm pretty confident, to be honest. A little unfortunate, to be honest, with the seeding, because if you want my honest opinion, out of the 8 people who qualified, the one that I respect the most and I think is probably going to be the hardest to beat is Mezelgy. We're on the same half of the bracket, right? I was kind of hoping he'd go on one side, I'd go on the other, and we'd have a nice grand finals, but, it's kind of how it works.
I think there's going to be a lot to look forward to as far as these matches, and right off the bat, we've got people facing off that everyone's looking forward to. So are you worried about anybody that might be coming out of the open bracket?
I'm not exactly 100% who's going to be there. Two guys I do know that I do respect as players. I know Phaser's going there, and I know Belgian Grump is also going, and he's coming from Europe. That's a lot of dedication. I don't know off the top of my head any other European players that are coming, but they're both good players, and I respect them as players. So, they could be good competitors.
Cool. Well, we'll have to find out how they do in the Open there. But that's all the questions I have for you, so thanks for joining us in this interview, and I can't wait to meet you at HRX in person.
Thanks for having me, and I'll see you there.
Yeah. Alrighty, everyone, that does it for our interview. Make sure to tune in to future content as we prepare for the HRX Founders Tournament. So, see you then.